Vanderbilt's Clark Lee will be next today. The Commodores will travel to Alabama on Saturday for a 2:30 Central kickoff on ABC. For questions for Coach Clark, please use the raise hand function. And Coach, while we will wait on those questions to come in, if you could take a moment to comment on your team as you prepare to travel to this week's game at Alabama.
This is week 6 of a 6-week stretch to open the season for us. I feel like the guys have handled that really well. Obviously, they're really excited to play. We need to narrow our focus here over the next couple of days just on the details within the plan, because that's ultimately where the game will be won and lost. It's one where we don't want to chase emotions on Saturday. We want to make sure that we're operating and controlling the things we control and anticipating out there so we can win the battle for leverage and chase the result we want. But I'm proud of the way we've started our prep, and obviously very proud of this team, and looking forward to being out with them on the field on Saturday.
First up, we have Colin Gay of the Tuscaloosa News.
Hey, Clark. A lot of Alabama fans probably remember Diego Pavia as kind of more of a runner kind of who carved up the Crimson Tide defense last year. I'm curious about, since that Alabama game last year, how have you seen Diego kind of evolve and your offense evolve through him?
Well, we still have those elements where he can run the ball. That's kind of part of our system, and hopefully in ways that differentiate us at times. But we've gotten better in front of him and around him. So I feel like he's got a little more time and space in the pocket, or has had that to this point this year. So he's been able to, I think, distribute the ball really well, find open space in the passing game. He makes really good decisions. He's a smart player. And the guys that he's delivering that ball to are skilled also. And so it's helped our passing game. I think that starts with the protection parts. And, again, credit to our offensive line and really our running back and tight end group, too, that have been a part of that. But also, when he's making completions, he's making it to guys that are able to catch and run and do some things after the catch. So Diego is a complete player. He is multidimensional and has the ability to take a game over. Obviously, this is a really talented front that we're going to be competing against on Saturday, and so we'll need to be at our highest level to give him the time and space he needs. But that's kind of been part of his evolution. Both it's his development, but also I think strengthening some of those pieces in front of him and around him that give him time and space and give him people to throw the ball to that can do something with it afterwards.
Perfect. Thanks.
You bet.
We'll go overseas for our next question with George Somerville and the touchdown.
Hi, can you hear me?
George, go ahead.
Yeah, got it. You talked last week about the maturity of the team, and I just wondered, as the expectations for the program, you're certainly not considered underdogs in the vast majority or any of the games that you play in now. I just wondered if you saw a point in the locker room where the mindset had shifted, and what was it that caused that shift?
I think the mindset shift happens before the results, so I believe this started last winter, where I really felt like I was having to do less convincing the team of what we're capable of. Obviously, when Diego got into that locker room, that helped, and it's just capturing hearts and minds. But there are guys, going into last season, that would have been their third or fourth year, that had been kind of a part of this program, had chosen to stay and because of their belief in what we could do. And so, you started to see it in the way we just went about attacking our work. I thought they built confidence through our strength and conditioning program with Robert Steiner. I think they were energized by our systems. A year ago, I took over the defense, and Tim Beck came in with the offense. And I think there was just this awareness that they were going to be positioned for success, and I think that deepened belief, and so we carried that into last season, and feeling those things and then executing and actualizing them in a performance are two different things, and so over the course of last season, we kind of rode the waves of learning how to compete at a high level, learning how to win. We played in 8 games that were settled within one possession a year ago, and so a lot about the thin margins and all those things. And then, as we turned the page to this season, we returned so much of that production. And so there was an opportunity for us there to build upon the mindset we had started. I thought, honestly, in our bowl game, the bowl prep and kind of the practices, and then the way we played against Georgia Tech in the Birmingham Bowl really set a course for us, a launching pad for us into the 25 off season. And to our team's credit, this I think is our 266th day together. I mean, this thing is not built in the season. I mean, it's built in January and through winter, spring, and obviously in the summer and training camp. And so, we've grown closer. We're more connected. We returned a lot of the lessons from a year ago. And these guys have leveraged all those things into, to this point, dominant performances. And that's become kind of our mantra or our mindset around here is it's about us and it's about how we play. And we have the ability to dictate terms on the field, and we worry less about who we're playing against or where we're playing and more about, our focus and our execution.
Awesome. Thank you.
You bet.
Next is Travis Brown of KBTX.
Hi, Clark. I know we've asked you in the past about your relationship with Mike Elko. He said this week he kind of formed his love of scheming up third down while he was at Bowling Green. What do you remember about kind of the origins of him scheming up and coming up with some of the third down exotic looks that he has today?
Yeah, he's a mad scientist, and I don't think anyone does it better. He's got the ability to make hard things simple for the players, and so third down becomes kind of a challenge for two things. One, how do you attack protection? Two, how do you attack and leverage routes? And his ability to do both. I think he's got a unique ability to kind of diagnose what the front is doing and how they're protecting the passer and who they're using for that. And then formationally, I think he's got a unique ability to understand route leverage and where the important intersect points are for the defense. And he combines those things, and sometimes he'd come in and it's not necessarily something that we had run before, but something that he had seen on film that we had to teach. And his willingness to explore that way, his willingness to create, I think also differentiates him. You're not going to put him in a box on third down. He's going to do the things that he feels like are most effective against the opponent. So he's really good. Obviously, they had a great performance last week, and on third down in particular, and that's no surprise.
Thank you.
Yes.
Next will be Steve Moulton, WZZN.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well today, sir.
Thanks, Steve. Same to you.
Thank you, Coach. I wanted to ask about, I heard your press conference yesterday, and especially Alabama offensively. How different does this Alabama offense look with Ty Simpson at quarterback this year compared to last year?
Well, I think it's drastically different. There were elements of this, and elements of the identity a year ago, but you have a new coordinator and you got a new quarterback, and the way they've built around that, has changed pretty drastically. So last year, I think it was more about it seemed like spreading out and giving the quarterback a chance to create. This year, it feels way more like progression passing and almost kind of NFL style offense. So they're running it really well, and man, what a credit to their coaching staff with a first-time starter at quarterback who's again, a coach's son and waited his time and learned along the way and is building confidence as the year goes. Between his guy or their guy and our guy, I mean, those are the two of the best performing quarterbacks in the country, which makes Saturday's matchup especially exciting.
Finally, Coach, I wanted to talk about your wide receiver room. And at least back at media days, there was a lot of talk about Martell Height playing both ways for you. Is that wide receiver room performing better, maybe better than you thought? And what kind of role has Martell played in the wide receiver room, you think?
He's had a role, and he's played snaps and made catches. He made a big catch for us early in the South Carolina game. But to your point, I think we've through the summer developed some chemistry and some playmakers in that room to where we don't have to spread Martell as thin. He'll still get snaps over there, but we like where we are on that side of the ball at receiver, and we need Martell to be a great coverage player also. So we're, he's still handling, parts of that offensive package and still spends time in practice on that side of the ball. But, because of the development of that room, we've been able to create opportunities for him to focus on defense too, which is where we're going to need him through the stretch run here.
Coach Lee, thank you.
You bet. Thanks.